What's up, everybody? This is
What's
Recap
up?
Rewind. I am JLag, and I'm here with
NB.
and we are recapping Game of Thrones Season 6, Episode
4.
titled
Book of the Stranger.
Interesting.
So, I don't know what...
I'm not
what's
really
the
sure.
Book of the Stranger? I'm not sure.
Maybe when we go through,
Maybe we'll figure it out
as we're talking about it.
dissecting.
Okay, so let's just get right into it. We start right off in the wall. At the wall.
In the wall. We're in the
Inside the
wall,
wall.
and we're like peeking through the hole.
And this was most valuable
Oh my
moment
God.
of the entire episode.
You know how everyone like records their reactions?
Mm-hmm.
I honestly wish we were recording our reaction.
Dude,
because
I was, like,
I
tearing
think my
up.
mouth like dropped to my knees when that happened. I was like, my reaction would have been insane.
I was like tearing.
First
it was,
of
like,
all,
so powerful.
so we start off at the wall.
So we start off the wall. John is basically like packing his shit because he's like
Yeah.
over it. He wants to leave. So after last episode, he was like, my watch is ended and he's
Yeah.
ready to quit. And his friend is like, no, you like made a vow, you can't leave.
Yeah, you made a vow. You're part of the Night's Watch.
He's like,
He's
I'm
like,
dead.
What
though.
vow? He's like, they killed me.
Like, I'm done.
Like,
now,
I'm technically
so-
not supposed to be here right now.
So I'm gonna go. So
He's like packing up his like books and whatever.
So he's packing up his books, and then suddenly he hears
Someone's like, yo, somebody's here at the door. We both looked at each other like in
Yeah.
0.5 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. And then
happening.
it cuts to that shot of the doors and it's her.
gosh.
And like, I think I was like, I was going to
yak.
throw up. Like, I was like, this isn't happening right now.
My heart just like exploded and got sad.
Like, it hasn't
and
even
got
happened yet.
happy.
We're already like freaking out.
She's just walking in. She
She's not
hasn't
even
even
like past
seen
the
him yet.
wall of like the gate.
Yeah, so she walks in, or she's like on the horse. She gets off the horse and she's just like looking around, like seeing all these wildlings and stuff. And then
And
there's
they're
like,
just looking at like, do you think they knew who she was when she walked in?
I don't know. I'm not sure. They just, maybe. But anyway, like she gets
Like
into
no
the
one
middle
made
of the
a
court.
peep.
Yeah, it was like
no
quiet.
one. The beautiful music was playing.
The music was
She
looming.
strolls
Oh,
in,
so good.
and like everyone's just looking at her, and then like John from like the corner of like the upper deck level,
Yeah,
he
like focus,
her.
rack focuses to him,
Oh,
and he's just like in disbelief, and you just like feel this moment with these two characters.
Like,
and
were you gonna cry?
I like teared on one side.
Yeah,
I was
like,
like,
I was gonna yak and
this
cry at the
is
same time.
Emotional.
Yeah.
I don't
My
usually
mom's
get
like,
emotional
what?
with shows
I'm like,
at
Mom,
all.
they haven't seen each other in like since the beginning of the show.
Yeah,
like when
since
you
they
really
split.
start thinking
Since
of,
he left for the wall, so even
Yeah, like, all
before
that
she
other stuff
left to
happened.
King's
Yeah.
Landing, he was already up
gone.
in the wall. So it's been time.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
We also see John's new like man bun, which I was not okay with.
I'm not digging that.
I was like, okay, fine. They're giving this guy a hipster haircut. I'm not okay. Like, it kind of killed the moment for me, kind
Yeah.
of. But I was still so happy to see them together. So Sansa, John, back together. Seriously, like, the most amazing. One of the most. Dude, so many amazing.
This season already, it's episode 4, and I have to say, it's come out like
Killing
a
it.
bang.
Killing
it.
Like, every episode is
freaking episode,
bomb.
something happens, and
so
you're like,
good.
You're like, but that happened too.
Yeah,
like,
I
you're
can't
just
even
like,
say
what
that this was the best
happened?
moment because we'll get to the end of the
Yeah.
episode, and
Oh
that's
my
an amazing
God.
moment too.
Yeah.
I don't know. This was definitely one of my tops.
And I really respect the fact that they're giving us what we want.
Yes.
They're giving it to us. They're like, okay, let's waste no time.
Yeah.
You start off the first freaking 10 seconds with Sansa coming
Does
up to
that
Jon
make
Snow.
you feel a little uneasy though?
No.
That they're giving us a lot of things that we want.
No, I think it makes sense.
That they're not going to take away everything from us at some point in time.
I think it makes sense that these stories are connecting at this point in the series.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Of course, shit's going to happen. Of course, things are going to happen that we're not going to like.
Yeah.
I totally get that. But these little moments are like so much more.
Yeah, it's
like,
true.
Oh my God.
It was good to see. It was so gratifying.
Emotional.
And it was so emotional. I'm so happy to see them together. It was just a beautiful moment.
So then they have like the little private chat like in the room.
Yeah.
And I guess he sort of like catches up with her. Like he tells her like AKI died and like came back.
Yeah, she's
But
like,
she was turned up. She was like, dude, we need to go back and save our freaking home. Like, let's go. He's like, no. He's like, I want to like.
He's like, I got
done
killed.
fighting.
I'm over
Yeah,
it.
he's like, I'm done fighting. I want to go get my tan on at King's Landing. Like, I don't want to like.
And she turns up and she's like, I'm gonna do it with or without
okay, you're
you.
not gonna come? I'm gonna go up then.
So here's
I don't know how, but
here's Sansa coming through like a boss ass queen.
Yeah.
She's like killing it, and he's like in his like he's thinking about it. He's like maybe, and then it cuts to the next scene.
Yeah.
So we'll leave the wall for now because we'll come back to it later, and then we head to the Vale. So if you don't recall, the Vale is where Catelyn Stark's sister lived there. She got thrown out the... Liza. She has the crazy son who's kind of like inbred and weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's alive. The queen is dead. It shows this guy, his name is Robin, aka Lord of the Vale. And Littlefinger's like, I don't know, Mockingbird crew like coming through with like his mini army. And he's like he's doing like archery. So he brings him like a present. It's like a falcon. A falcon?
Yeah, I don't know, some
sort of fancy falcon, whatever. And the guy's like enraptured by it because he's like a little child. Yeah. He's like 13 years old. And then there's like a really quick moment, I guess, with like the Kingsguard and Littlefinger, and he's basically like trying to test his loyalty. And Littlefinger's just being like sneaky as usual, and essentially he goads Robin to go and save Sansa or capture her or get her back.
Yeah, this guy is so freaking powerful and so freaking smart.
Yeah,
he's just putting down the pieces to be like, by the way, like, let's use our army to like, go get Sansa. And then the kid's like, yeah, she's my cousin, I'm down.
Yeah, that's what happened. Basically.
Yeah. But he tricks him by like having that bird. He's like kind of like occupied, right? So
he's he's not paying attention. Whatever. Also, I mean, this kid I don't think like really cares so much anyway. Like he seems kind of slow. Yeah. So it's easy to kind of persuade him to go either way.
Yeah.
So,
but everything has like a little tactic,
I mean, I guess
right?
he's at the end of it. He goes, "It's time to join the fray." So essentially, it's trying for the Vale to like come into this situation and like play the game, start playing this game because there's worse. What I
don't understand with Peter is like he risked Sansa by leaving her with Roose Bolton. Like
I don't know if he cared so much though. You know how this guy is. I don't know.
Like yeah,
I feel like he's done worse things. Because you definitely
want to believe that like he has her back because of like the mom. But like thinking about it now and like where he's, I'm like, dude, this guy literally like left her there.
Ain't no way.
She could have died by now.
Yeah, she could have.
So like he really didn't care about her.
No, he did not care. He's just doing his own thing. He's doing everything in his own interest. At that point in time, Sansa was not important because the North was not important. But then he kind of just did.
No, it was important, but he had to like leave that little thing there, and then like he had to go to like back to King's Landing. Remember, he went back to talk to Cersei, so he still had things to do. He still has to put his pieces together.
Yeah, he still needs to make that connection.
He has to leave things to like to gamble too. You know, like he can't like cover her the whole time. Anyways,
yeah.
So that happened.
Fair point. So that happened, and then we move on to Meereen, and
so boring.
It was kind of like whatever. So anyway, Tyrion is making it's like House of Cards situation.
Go, sum it up in a minute.
Okay, so Tyrion meets with the rulers of Astapor, Yunkai, and Volantis, and he's sitting with them, and he's basically trying to negotiate like a slavery idea, and they're basically saying we don't want to get rid of slavery, but he's like, you're gonna have to. We'll give you 7 years to like readjust
slowly.
To like. Exactly, because
slowly take it out.
He agreed. He's speaking on behalf of the Queen. He's basically saying like she kind of fucked up because she didn't really leave you guys with a new system. Which I mean, I guess that makes sense.
It makes sense, but like 7 years is a long time.
7 years is a long time. So Missandei was not happy with that because as a former slave, she was not okay with it. And same with Grey Worm, who's like also a slave, and he was not happy with like his decision.
But like, where was Varys? Like, why wasn't Varys saying anything?
I don't know.
I guess he agreed with him. Maybe.
Yeah, Varys doesn't really have. Yeah, I'm sure they like agree with each other. So that's a very good point. So finally, they decide they leave, and Missandei and Grey Worm basically like are pissed at Tyrion. They're like, "What the hell did you just do?
Yeah.
I can't believe you agreed to that." And basically he's like, I'm trying to play politics. I'm trying to like please them. He didn't say you guys don't understand, but he was more like, I got this. So like, don't worry, like trust in me. I'm just trying to like play their game to like help them. But Grey Worm is like, no, you don't know these people. Yeah. And he's like, they're gonna play you. Like you think that you're playing them, they're gonna fucking play you too. I think
Tyrion's main motive is like it makes sense for him to make peace with his enemies first.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like he's trying to get them on the good side and then try to figure it out.
Exactly.
I believe in him. I think he's a smart guy. I think he knows what he's doing.
Here's the thing. So I agreed as well, but at the very end when Grey Worm mentioned that, he's like, you don't know these people.
Yeah, they're gonna
I was like, I definitely agree because at the end of the day, like he's from Westeros. They play a different game. across the sea. Like they have slaves. So I mean, Tyrion has never like experienced that. Yeah, he only knows that they didn't have them, but he doesn't know if it's been a good thing or a bad thing, or how to get rid of it. So for him to like kind of like take these apply these ideas that he learned in Westeros and bring them here, yeah, I guess it makes sense, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how well he does. I feel like they're setting him up for like a bit of a failure or a bit of some sort of tragedy.
Curve. Like he's or a learning curve, sure. More, right?
I mean, it's just giving them a bit of drama right now, I feel too.
But
like,
it was really boring. I was
very boring. I was like, please stop. Okay, so we're going to move to Essos, the sacred city of Essos, where the Khaleesi is in the temple of the Dosh Khaleen, which is the official name of Debbie Downer Palace,
right?
Where all the widows are staying.
Right.
Jorah and Dario are like just over the hill, and Dario sees that he has like the gray scale on his hand, and he's like, oh shit, sorry about that. So then basically he's like, let's go in there at nighttime and like sneak in and just grab her and like dip. So I don't know if this is really necessary, but they have to like keep all their weapons away,
right?
And so Dario has like a knife, and he's like, okay, cool, fine, whatever.
He keeps it they have to leave their weapons, but like secretly Dario like hides his knife in his pocket.
Yeah. So nightfall comes, and they have to kill somebody by accident. So it's good that he brought the knife, but then they like smash his head and whatever. It's kind of like irrelevant.
The point was like in that scene, like Jorah couldn't handle himself. Like the other like Dothraki guy like beat the shit out of Jorah.
Yeah.
So then Dario had to come back and like kill his guy and then kill Jorah's guy too.
Yeah, because there were two people. One of them was like running to like get help.
This guy's like getting old right now. Like he can't like
fight. He's not capable. Yeah. So, but I mean, he's got good intentions.
Yes.
We always knew that Jorah has good intentions.
Yeah, for sure.
So then finally Khaleesi is like talking with all the other widows, and there's like one other young widow who's like probably younger than Khaleesi, and she's like, I'm thirsty, let's go get water. So she follows her outside, and she basically says like,
this was an interesting scene because like just watching Khaleesi's face as she's listening to like all the other like Debbie Downers. Yeah. She's not really scared. She's not really like angry at them.
Yeah.
She's not really like
she's trying
frustrated.
To understand.
She's just trying to understand like where these women are coming from and like what they've been through. So you know that whatever's gonna happen in this episode, like she's gonna try to accept them and like fight, but like bring them on her side too. Like it's not like let me kill everyone right now.
She's all about definitely like trying to understand the culture, but
she's
at the same time like, trying to like free them from the oppression that they don't even understand.
Because give them the power.
They're so brainwashed into thinking that is like the way that their life goes. Like the
one
my cow dies and I gotta like go into this house and like that's the end of my life.
The one lady was like, I'm just gonna stay here until like I die in a fire. Yeah. Like
so depressing.
So depressing.
Yeah. And
like go live your life, girl.
Yeah, for sure. So essentially she books that and then she dips and she's like, okay, cool. And then in that meantime, Jorah and Dario find them in the middle of the night and they're about to slice a girl's neck. Like the other, like whatever,
the younger
girl.
Yeah.
And
Khaleesi's like, no, she's my friend. Don't kill her.
Like I just met her, but like we're cool.
Friends.
So then she's like, don't worry, he's like, let's go, we gotta leave. And she's like, you're not gonna be able to leave Essos this way. Like there's no way.
And she's like, don't worry.
I got a plan. And there's like the nice slow close up on her face, and she's like. Very like mischievous. Yeah. She's got some shit going on. Then it goes back to like the most boring section of the entire episode, King's Landing. Oh my god,
I know it was really I'm sorry, King's Landing, but you guys are slacking right now.
Boring.
Like, oh my god, I was so bored. I was like literally counting the minutes. I was like, are you done? Are you done now? Can we go back to like Khaleesi or Jon Snow?
It was so in comparison to the rest of what's going on right now, this is so
like, I was
waste,
like,
man.
Like Marjorie, like I don't.
I think this is something that's always been an issue with King's Landing is the fact that that there's this larger story coming through. Even the White Walkers are connected to the Wall, so even as boring as the Wall became, you also know that there's this overarching looming danger. King's Landing is like this nice little pretty little city in the middle of Westeros.
And I'm over the Sparrows, to be honest. I'm really over that whole storyline. I'm over this man having like a 6-minute monologue.
Every episode,
you're wasting my time of the episode. You're wasting my time.
Episode 4, he's already had 3 monologues.
Yeah, like I understand you're like a holy person, like, but just move on.
With my
Let
life.
Marjorie talk. Let someone else talk.
Yeah. Like, so Marjorie talks. So speaking of, Marjorie talks to Bernie Sanders real quick, like the High Sparrow, and he has another.
I didn't even know what the point of that
he was like, I had shoes, I didn't have shoes.
I was rich ones too. I effed a lot of girls too, but now like I'm like religious. Like okay, we get it.
And she's like, I get it too. Like I've heard this 1,000 times. So finally, she gets to see her brother for the first time, like ever.
Yeah, and
for a long time.
He doesn't look good.
And Loris does not look good. He's like beat up, and he's like ready to like basically kill himself.
Do they beat him up?
Yeah, I think they like hit them.
Because I was like wondering what he meant by like, I can't take this anymore.
I don't know.
I was like, what, like Bible study? Like what do you take? Like what's so bad? Like yeah, I get it. You live in a dungeon, but like
how hard could it
so
be?
Bad.
He's like, it's what a drama queen.
Maybe they're getting like beat up, but she's not getting beat up.
I think she's getting like kicked a little bit here and there.
She's getting nudged.
Just getting like a little tap here and there.
Yeah.
He looks like he's getting his face beat up real hard.
But yeah, he's not doing good. He's super weak, and he's like, "Look, I need your help. Like, I'm gonna break."
Yeah, and she's like,
"You can't break."
Yeah, she's like, "Stay strong. They're gonna try to pit us against each other."
Yeah.
I feel like that's like a very looming situation because I feel like he might sell her out. Like she's she has all this faith in him, but at the same time, like she's gonna sell him. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, it's a very, very boring situation. So then Cersei's talking to Tommen, and she's like, okay, I understand what's going on with you guys. Well, let's figure this out. Tommen's like, we got to be careful with him. Yeah. Suddenly,
Tommen's like smart now.
Speaking. Yeah. I was like, okay, fine. So he basically says like, we got to watch this guy. He has my wife. I just want to get her home. And Cersei, like, through gritted teeth, is like, fine, we'll get her back.
But he was so cute. He's like, I know you. He's like, you don't like her. And she's like, it doesn't matter if I like her or not.
Yeah.
So then cut to the small council meeting, and like Cersei and Jaime walk in with to the grandma, like Marjorie's grandma, and the uncle, I guess. Yeah. The Lannister uncle.
And then Grandma Tyrell is like, I told you can't sit with us. Yeah. That she's like,
no, but wait. Now we need to work together.
Yeah.
Because she's like, this shit's getting out of hand. Like now we need, like the Sparrow clearly wanted to divide them up.
Right.
And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And now Cersei's like, we need to work together. Like, this is not, like, she's going to make your granddaughter walk again through the streets naked.
To the walk,
so,
to the walk of shame.
The grandma's like, yeah, that's not happening. Like, we need to turn this shit up now.
She's not okay
like,
with that.
Now you realize that.
I know.
Like,
the entire time, MB, you were saying, like, why can't the grandma do anything right now?
Yeah.
And I guess
the grandson's, like, going to die.
I just really feel like it's because they have two of them in captivity. They can't just start a, like, tiny little war. Yeah. Like, they're going to kill them.
Yeah. Anyway, so now it seems like they're at war. Like, they're going to have their army, and they're going to, like, fight against the High Sparrow.
So they have this like loose plan. They're gonna come in and they're gonna like wait until she's like out in the public, and then as soon as she's like about to do her walk of shame, they're gonna like take her, like they're gonna take Marjorie away.
Oh, that's what they said.
Yeah, they're planning something.
Oh, okay.
And like the King's Guard is not gonna like fight. They're gonna like stand down, which is basically like them like trying to let everybody else take care of everything.
Okay.
So the High Sparrow's supposed to die at some point in time.
Okay.
Fingers crossed it'll be next episode.
Yeah. So you want him to die?
I'm over it.
It's funny because like now the show has created this third enemy because you know Cersei was the enemy all along.
Yeah.
And now we've sort of like rooted for her. We're like, damn this High Sparrow guy.
I mean,
so it's I'm interested to see if like other people really think of him as the enemy.
Let's not forget who gave him the power to begin with. It was her.
It was her.
So she deserves everything that's happened to her so far, and she's gonna deserve everything that's going to happen to her because Tommen is still expected to die at some point in time this season.
Yeah.
I do want this situation to be over because I'm so over it.
Yeah, I'm over it.
I don't think that so here's the thing. I feel like they're going to fail with Marjorie's situation. That's going to not go so great. And maybe she'll die in that process. And then the whole like big situation is going to be Cersei's trial, which is supposed to come after Marjorie's.
So you think Marjorie's going to die?
I think so. I mean, I feel like it's very...
I can see it.
I feel like it's very...
I do like her character.
I do like her too. Absolutely. I just don't know if she has like a place anymore, in all honesty. Sorry. I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know if like she fits right now. Maybe she will. Maybe she's going to be like that interim person after Tommen dies and Cersei dies.
Yeah.
And like
We'll see.
We're done with that situation. We'll see.
Okay. Bye, King's Landing.
Bye, King's Landing. You were boring, but not more boring than the Iron Islands.
Yeah, but that was really fast.
It was quick,
yeah,
thankfully. Yeah. So Iron Islands / Pike were there. Theon arrives and he knocks on the door and he opens the door. By the way, that place is really, really fucking depressing. Could they like put a few more lights in there?
No.
It is so sad.
So sad.
So she's sitting by the fire, like his sister's sitting by the fire, like warming herself up because it's real cold in there. And then
She's like, they told me Theon was here, but I didn't believe them.
Because my brother dead.
And he's like, but I'm not.
He's like, I'm here now.
And she was just like mad at him because she's like, all my guys came to freaking save you and they died in the process and you didn't even come home with us.
And he's like crying and she's like, man the fuck up. Like,
I love this female power in this.
Stop being so like freaking crybaby. Mm-hmm. Like, why are you crying right now?
Totally.
I mean, poor guy. Like,
but he's gone through a lot. He was like, he broke me like into so many pieces. And she's like, yeah, I know, we got one in the mail. Like, aka his penis. But like the way he said it was so sad. Like, he's like, I'm sorry. Like, the guy like
what did you want me to do?
Me. Yeah. Like, So anyway, so she's like, what do you want? And he's like, you can rule it. He's like, you can go ahead and rule it. He's like, I'll help you. He's like, you deserve to be like the queen or whatever.
Which is really cool because I think you also predicted that as well. And I was like, okay, I'm okay with like this whole situation. He's going to give her the full
I don't
support.
think it was ever about him fighting with her. Like, I think he understands like she's like, way more suited to do it.
The uncle is going to be the main situation.
Now that's going to have drama.
They're going to have that fight. Yeah. We'll see how that goes. Cool. So Theon's back home. That's fine. We're going to go back to Winterfell for a second, not even. And, man, I feel so bad that I don't know her name.
Osha. Osha or Asha?
Asha. Oh, yeah.
Osha, I think it's Osha.
Anyway, so it's the wildling girl who was with Rick on the entire time. She's all, like, washed up and, like, clean. And she goes in to see Ramsay Snow.
Yeah.
And he's eating an apple. And they talk for like a quick minute, and she like sits on his lap because she's like, I'm gonna give you whatever you want.
Yeah, she tries to seduce him. But she starts looking at the knife like on the table beside him,
which was like already she's like gonna try.
And I was like, this is gonna backfire for you, girl, so quick.
Yeah, and it did because like 5 seconds later,
she got stabbed in the neck.
And it was kind of screwed up because he'd already known that he was gonna kill her. And I guess it's better that she died the way she died because at least she didn't get flayed because he's basically saying like, oh, Theon was so easy to break compared to you. Like, you're able to like talk so much.
Yeah.
And then he's like, he told me about a girl who basically like helped them get free, aka her. And he's like, okay, so she's obviously not trustworthy. And then she tries to stab him. And then he already had like a knife in his pocket and then like stabs her in the neck. And then she dies. R.I.P. Osha. Like, you really... I mean, thanks for like taking care of Rick on this whole time.
Yeah.
I was pretty sad about it because like she's been around for the entire season. And
she's been like the homegirl too. Like, she's taking care of him.
Yeah, she was like
for sure. But there's gonna be casualties in this for sure.
It's true.
It's understandable.
You know, it was a question, and it's almost a question that we kind of need to like.
We'll talk about it in our predictions because I do want to get back to this. Her whole plot line.
We'll get to that part in the end. All right, so we go back to the wall for a quick minute, but it's a really good moment. So they're are eating dinner, and a letter comes for the Lord Commander, aka Jon.
I just love this whole scene. Like, the dynamic between Sir Davos, Melisandre, freaking, what's her name? Brienne.
Yeah.
Like, the Night's Watch guys, like, everyone is so different. Yeah, and they're from such different parts of the map. Yeah. And now they're all together. It's like they all think that they're all crazy, or like it's just so funny to see them all together.
They're all such big characters.
Like, Brienne
together.
And Melisandre's scene killed me because she was like, some bitches betray their masters. Side-eye to Melisandre. She's like, I don't leave my people behind. Side-eye to Melisandre. Like, she was just like killing her. And Melisandre's like, well, I saved Jon Snow.
When Renly got killed by blood magic, side-eye to Melisandre. She was so pissed. She was just like killing her. I was like, wow. And Melisandre was like, sorry about it. She like looked embarrassed.
She's like, I mean, I did that, but I also saved Jon Snow.
And then it's like, it's all in the past.
Yeah, it was a funny scene. But yeah, seeing them all together, so they're all eating dinner at the table, and my lumberjack is there too. Mm-hmm. Brienne is there, Jon Snow, his friends, Sansa.
And they get a raven from Winterfell, and it's for Jon.
Yeah.
Still saying like Lord Commander, because I guess they don't know that he died and came back and he retired as Lord Commander. So a lot of things have happened since his letters come back. So he's basically saying in it, it's really, really gross, and it's like true Ramsay Snow like writing.
This episode really, there were a lot of moments where they're like talking about rape and like fucking like really hardcore. I was like, whoa, like this is like pretty graphic.
It's pretty gruesome stuff.
Very gruesome.
It just goes to show like how evil these people really are.
Yeah, and like how hard the writers really want to push it.
To make it seem very brutal.
Yeah, like very brutal. Like obviously Jon Snow reads the letter and he's like...
The letter's like, come and see.
They have your brother.
I have your brother. Okay. Come and see. I have like his dire wolf's fur on my floor. Come and see. I want my wife back, or else I'll kill you. I'll scoop your eyeballs out. I'll rape your sister, etc., etc. I'll like feed your brother to the dogs. Yeah. Like it was very intense.
Like very intense. Yeah.
It came to the point where he couldn't even read it anymore. Yeah. Sansa's like, let me finish this damn letter because she's
so much stronger right now than him.
She's come to this moment where she needs to like. She's been so through done. Shit. She literally had to jump off a wall to like get away from this man.
I love how like right away his boys were like, let's go fight. Like, how many men does he have? Yeah. She's like, I think it's 5,000. I heard him speaking one time. Yeah. Like, she has all this knowledge. So she's already planning it out now.
So she's definitely playing a key role in this whole war.
So good.
Or this battle, I guess that's
she's like, and she yelled at him. She's like, he has our brother and he has our home. Like, what else do you freaking need to like go back and John, take this shit over? The fuck Seriously. He's like, okay.
She came
he didn't even say
okay,
he like shrugged. He was
like, she came at the perfect time.
So good.
But now they're like together. Like they're like a united Stark
and
front.
And the wildlings are like so with John. Like everyone's with him. I love it. He has everyone behind him.
I mean, not everybody. So they need at least 3,000 more people.
Like they have 2,000 people.
Yeah, they have 2,000 people. They need to even it out, and then they have to see if they can overtake them.
So Sansa made a good point because she's like, look, you are the true son of the Warden of the North. Like a lot of northern families will support you and they will back you up. Let's get back to this later on in the our episode. We'll talk about that. Okay. But that's what he's gonna have to do. He's gonna have to go and like convince other families in the north to join his force.
Exactly.
So we'll see. So that's amazing. I'm so excited.
I'm really excited. They really
and
they killed this episode.
I think it's the battle of the season is probably gonna be Ramsay and Jon Snow.
The battle of the bastards, as one of my friends coined it. Okay. ESSOS. We go back to ESSOS. Final amazing scene. Oh my God.
I'm gonna go after this. I'm gonna go watch it again because I freaking loved it.
Chills.
Yeah, so good.
So she walks in. This woman is smug AF. Just walking in.
Who?
Khaleesi. Yeah. So she walks in.
Walks into where?
So she walks into the council area in the center of the town, and
it's like the main house.
Yeah.
Of the whole camp.
And all the calls have come together to basically
judge.
It's like their council, their version of a council. Yeah. So they're talking and they're trying to decide on a bunch of things, including what's her fate. So she walks in and they're like, well, what should we do with you? Because, you're supposed to be here, but she obviously broke rules. So they're like, do we keep you in the widow's house or do we kill you? Do we rape you? Do we do this, and this? And she basically like looks smug as fuck.
First of all, I loved that writing that she had in that scene.
So good.
Because she started it as soon as she was like, my Cal? You know what my Cal did? Yeah. He wanted to go and sail across on wooden horses to the western side and take over all that shit. Yeah. She goes, that's what my Cal wanted to do.
She's like, you all
She's like,
look
at
men.
You guys,
You're
small.
Tiny
you guys
idiots.
Like take over villages and you rape women and you laugh about it. How you like screwed all these women. Wastemans. Essentially, she's calling them all wastemans. And they're like getting like pissed. Angry. They're like, not what? Happy. Yeah. They're like, okay, now we're gonna you're gonna die. Like, why are you talking to us like this?
Yeah.
And then.
So then basically, she's like, yeah, that's not gonna happen.
She's like, I'm gonna take over. She's like, I will lead.
So she's
like, I will
and then they're like, you think that we're gonna bend the knee to you? And she's like, no, that's not what I meant. I think you got our wires crossed. Yeah. I'm gonna lead, but you're gonna die right now. And
right now.
So she grabs. So she's on kind of like the middle area, and there's like four pillars of fire.
So they're like towards the back end of the room,
right?
And there's like four fire pits like in the middle, and then she's like in the middle of the fire pits.
Yeah, she holds on to one.
She holds on to one,
and obviously, then we are reminded that she is Khaleesi, the unburnt, and she is not burning as she's holding this thing, and she throws it toward them, and like fire just ignites in their area. So then we realize what her plan was after she talked to Jorah and Daario, and she's basically like, I'm going to burn this motherfucker down.
Yeah.
I'm not going to burn because I'm freaking unburnt. Amazing.
So all the doors were locked. Everything was closed. Yeah. So all these guys started scrambling to get out, and they can't get out.
It was like a Carrie moment, essentially.
God, so good.
Lock up the high school prom doors. She's gonna have her Carrie moment. Burn the whole motherfucker down.
She had it,
and she was coming through. I was like feeling her so hard. Freaking slayed it.
Honestly, I really freaking I'm gonna go watch it now, and I'm gonna put Beyonce on in the background.
Yes, do it.
Because it was freaking amazing.
It was amazing.
It was like fire lighting the shit up, and from the far shot, the wide shot that they had of like the little hut just burning.
Yes.
I was like, oh my god,
this is crazy. Unbelievable.
So then slowly, the whole Khalasar start walking towards that main hut because they're like, oh shit, it's burning
it's
down.
On fire. All of our people are in there.
And then obviously close up, she starts walking outside, out the door. She's naked.
Literally comes through
the freaking fire.
And it's very reminiscent, if you guys don't recall, from season finale of season 1, where she burns with Khal Drogo and comes out of the flames essentially, butt naked, but with 3 dragons.
Yeah.
So it was
very and at that time, it was the Khalasar as well.
Yes.
Watching her, but it was only a few people. It wasn't a lot.
Now it's literally everybody.
The whole tribe.
In holy ground. So this area that they are right now is very sacred. So this means more than anything else. When it happened in the first season, they were traveling. So they weren't near this sacred area. So now that this is happening here, everyone's it's going to be like a Misa moment. Basically what she did in Yunkai and Asapor.
And exactly what happened. They start bending the knee.
They all bending the knee, and she's just boss ass.
So
bitch.
I was asking you because I was like, why isn't anyone fighting against her? Why is everyone just bowing?
Yeah.
And you were like, because literally all the top guys were in that hut.
Yeah, they're dead.
Those captains they're all dead now.
Yeah. And literally, she's coming through fire. Yeah. I mean, she
amazing.
looks like she's unstoppable.
Amazing.
She looks so badass. The look on her face, amazing.
It's I told you so.
She's
hello.
I'm good.
I'm
good,
motherfuckers. I'm the mother freaking dragons.
Yeah, she came through. She literally came through.
Y'all think I was gonna sit here and wait to die? Check yourself.
Go check yourself. Sit down, Jay-Z.
Oh my god.
Freaking amazing.
Oh, amazing.
Oh, God, it gave me so many shivers.
Yeah, so good. And then Jorah and Dario come back. They're like, damn.
They're like, damn, girl, we fell in love with the right chick.
Yeah.
And Dario is like, I'm so lucky to be fucking that girl.
Yeah, basically. Low-key, he's like, damn.
He's like, yeah, she's naked.
But yeah, it was an amazing scene. So obviously she has... the power over the Dothraki tribe, which is freaking crazy.
It's amazing. So now it's kind of, and it really has come full circle in this episode. You see that she is the Khaleesi now, for real.
Without her dragons.
Without her
boys.
Without nothing.
She did it herself.
Queen.
That's exactly what we wanted.
And it's exactly what we had talked about last episode. We said this is her true test. This is her turning up with no one else's help. She didn't really even have Jorah or Dario's help in this particular situation. She's like, you guys stay there. I don't need to be saved right now because I got my own motherfucking
because they were pretty far out too when the thing went on fire.
Which is kind of amazing because that means that even in the writing, they didn't have to be there. They could have been there later.
What do you mean?
In the writing, they wanted them to come and try to save her. So they're definitely trying to make a point to say we're here to save you because we're the princes who are coming to save the queen. But this girl don't need no saving, okay? She can take care of herself.
I would have liked to see it without them because
that's what I mean.
Because did she do it because they were there? Or was she always going to do it?
I don't know. I think she was already playing her own game.
I wish they almost came when the thing was on fire.
But essentially, she didn't need their help at all. She said, sit down and wait. I'll take care of this.
She already had a plan, it seemed like. She already had a plan.
And freaking smart-ass woman. This is why we rally behind Daenerys. This is why we rally behind her. She is a true queen.
It's crazy. It's such a good scene.
And that's the end of the episode. We killed it. That's the end of the episode. And
so predictions?
Let's talk about predictions really quickly. So let's go through. I do want to go through characters, episode, location. Mm-hmm. How do you want to go through it?
I don't know. What were the top things that you were excited to see next?
So
because I'm definitely not excited to see King's Landing. I'm definitely not excited to see. Even Marina was like, man, okay, whatever.
Yeah, I'm kind of over
her
Marine
scene,
too.
Khaleesi's scene was insane.
Yeah, but exactly. I feel like there's all these satellite situations that are happening that are really adding fuel to the rest of the main storyline.
Let's talk about, so this is what we were talking about during the week after last week's episode.
Yeah.
Because we were thinking that, I literally thought for a second that whole thing with Rickon and Osha coming to Ramsey, it was kind of like a setup with the Umbers being like, let's use Rickon as like this little like pawn and like we'll come and like attack Ramsey like later on or whatever.
Yeah.
Just because like throughout the whole show, like people have said that the Umbers had this crazy allegiance to the Starks, like they would never turn their backs on them.
Right.
So that happening now is a little fishy.
Yeah.
But now seeing that Osha's dead, like I don't know how that plan works out for
exactly,
them. Like, it kind of
because you had said that the Umbers hate the wildlings like through and through.
Right.
And then you were questioning, well, then why is Osha still alive? They could have easily just killed her and then put Rick on there.
Exactly. Like, why keep the wildling if they hated her so much?
Exactly.
So I'm like, okay, maybe then it'll be like they'll be part of like the whole setup thing, right?
But then when she died, like literally an episode after coming back from the season,
unless she was always like that risk character.
Or she was like ready to die.
That guy, the Umber guy, was like either she dies at our hand or she dies at his hand. Like either way, like
maybe
or whatever. I don't know.
I think you're holding on to like a bit of a hope that that's not going to be the case, but who knows? We'll see.
No, I think after this one, I was like, okay, I don't think that's going to happen.
Like Rickon's definitely like in a dire situation.
Yeah. Which leads me to my next thing of being like, what family is Jon Snow going to go to like in the north to like help him out?
Well, I was mentioning this to you too. You have to remember that the Tullys are in the north, which are Catelyn Stark's family.
Right, and then now they're in the game, so like they're gonna help him.
Yeah, but that's a separate group. So the Vale is the Vale. The Tullys have the fish on their banner. Mm-hmm. So they're like, I don't even know who's like leading that. I guess it's her brother, right?
So that
Catelyn Stark's brother is like doing it, no?
Yeah, so he's at River Run, which I think obviously they'll go with Jon Snow. But I feel like that guy that Littlefinger was talking to is part of like the Tully family. That fat guy is a Tully, I believe. Oh. I feel like he was like their cousin or something, like Catelyn's cousin. That fat guy.
He was like the Kingsguard.
Yeah, I feel like he was in their family. I could be wrong, but I feel like he's that whole family too. They're all connected, right?
I don't know. I'm not really sure.
We'll see. Anyways. So now that they have a Vale with them, they have River Run, they'll be fine.
They'll be okay. I mean, they're going to pit them against each other. We're going to want to see our characters come through. That's going to be the big, fight in the rest of the end of the season. So
I hope it doesn't take like that long to get to.
I definitely feel like they have their big battles in like episode 7, episode 8. So I wouldn't, I mean, I would hold off till then. But we'll never know. Like this season is like freaking flying by so quick. Like things are happening left, right, and center. They're not waiting at all this season. So another thing that we didn't get to see this season or this episode, but we'll definitely see that I want to talk about is we're gonna go back to the Tower of Joy at some point in time. Definitely, they weren't in this episode. Bran. I'm talking about Bran and the third-eyed raven.
I feel like with Bran, something's gonna happen where it's almost gonna be like an Arya situation where this guy is training him, but I feel like Bran is gonna get really frustrated and he's gonna try to do like his little
thing on his own,
and he's gonna get like fucked over. I feel like he's gonna be like, I want to know what happens in the Tower of Joy, and he's gonna do it on his own, and something's gonna happen. I feel like.
Right. I mean, I definitely feel like we're gonna have to see the reveal at some point, and by the reveal, I definitely mean seeing Lyanna giving birth. Right. Yeah. We're talking about that situation. So I thought it was going to happen this episode. We need to see her giving birth to
That's going to be a huge moment. I feel like they're going to leave that for like a big chunk of time.
It'll be next episode.
Yeah.
I'm definitely crossing my fingers.
For sure. Episode. But it's going to have a big segment, I feel like, in the episode itself.
So another thing that we were talking about that we haven't talked about just yet is, and this isn't really a prediction of any sort, but it's about Sansa and her dog. So I guess we were talking about it because of Rickon and how Shaggy Dog died last episode, and how the Starks have such a direct connection to their dogs and what their fate is essentially. So we see that Rob's dog died, and then we see Rickon, and as soon as his dog died, I was like, okay, so Rickon's basically going to be the bait for this whole season. He's going to die at the end of it all because his dog's dead. But then you have to remember that Sansa's dog, Lady, died way back.
Yeah.
She was killed like on the way to King's Landing. So I guess my question is, do you think that Sansa's going to die? Like, is she going to be a part of this, like, fatal, obvious, like, trend that you see with the dogs and the Starks?
I don't know.
I don't want that to be the situation. I don't want to believe that that's the situation.
I mean, if I had to choose 3 characters that would make it to the end of this entire series, she's not one of them.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely like, I would be prepared to see her die, I feel like. Just in that sense.
Yeah.
But hearing her talk this episode and how she's so empowered by like getting her home back, and I feel like we're gonna let her have that a little bit.
Yeah.
Get her home and get her thing back, and then who knows what will happen after. I don't know.
That's true.
I feel like I definitely want to see her capture that Winterfell again and like reign it. You know
She's gonna kill it. I mean, and then hopefully she doesn't die in the process of it all, because I really think that this has been she's had one of the most amazing story arcs in this entire show.
Honestly, who knows? Maybe that wasn't like Rickon's direwolf.
I mean, yeah, you're holding on to that.
I'm holding on to that.
We'll see. But then that still like leaves Rickon alive and hers still potentially dead.
Yeah, it's true. Because hers is dead no matter what.
It doesn't matter either way. We had some theories around the fact that like maybe it's because it wasn't in the north that it doesn't matter as much. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know how that shit works.
Yeah, I still want to know what the thing is of that.
I think the whole thing was, I mean, the way I saw it when she originally died and she stayed alive so long, like after, like Sansa didn't die all this time. She didn't die even after Lady died. The way I saw that symbolism was the fact that she kind of like was never really a Stark, aka like she kind of like gave that part of herself.
Almost.
She gave that part of herself away. Even the way that Lady died was like not right. It wasn't the right, like she didn't die for the right reasons. Like but she was killed anyway. So it was almost like she was like she kind of sold out her name.
She did
for
at that time she definitely did. I don't know. That's a really good thing.
So maybe that was the real symbolism behind it. It's not really like that she's fated to die because Lady died. Anyway, we'll see.
I don't know how it
But then again, Lady died in captivity, so that was always an interesting thing to me too. Like, is like Sansa was always in captivity this whole time. Now she's finally free.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Maybe like she already like passed that.
She's already past that like breaking point where she could have died, and now she's like unstoppable. Queen, add another queen to the list. And I think that's pretty much our episode today.
Yeah. Any more predictions?
I don't think so. Do you have any more?
No.
Any other ideas for now?
No.
Anything we want to talk about?
We're good.
I think we're good. All right, that's it, guys.
That's it. Hope you guys
like,
liked
subscribe, comment. Let us know what you guys think of the episode. We'll be back next week.
Yep.
And that's it.
That's it.
Bye.
Peace.